Hey, if you like my videos, you might also like my comedy series YouTube Blue, which premieres every Saturday on the YouTube Blue YouTube channel. Go check out the link in the description and the card above to watch the latest episode. Now on with the video. Over the past 4.5 years, there's been talk here and there about the utter mutilation of David Ayer's original version of Suicide Squad. And then in May, things started to heat up a little bit about a potential Ayer cut. And ever since the Snyder Cut of Justice League was announced, the clamoring for David Ayer's Suicide Squad has become bigger because of the feeling of, well, they did it for Justice League, why not Suicide Squad too? So today I'm here to talk about how the original vision of David Ayer had for Suicide Squad was changed so drastically during production. So the first sneak peek trailer for Suicide Squad was released at Comic-Con in 2015 to acclaim. It was dark, soulful, entertaining, all things the final film was not. According to David Ayer, this original trailer is pretty much akin to his original version. So in 2016, two films came out that completely changed the trajectory of this movie. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice was released. It wasn't super well received and didn't make very much money. It grossed well over $800 million, but the budget was $250 million. Double that for marketing, though it might very well be more of that because that was marketed a lot, and they made around $300 million. Not bad at all, but given that it contained three of the biggest superheroes of all time, it was supposed to make well over $1 billion. So too, Warner Brothers underperformed. And around that same time, Deadpool came out. Deadpool was praised for its very violent and comedic tone, and seen as potentially the new standard for superhero movies. Its budget was just $58 million, and doubling that, but probably a little more because that movie was also marketed a lot for marketing, and it grossed well over $700 million, meaning that it actually made Fox around double what BVS made Warner Brothers. So now Warner Brothers felt that there was a lot of course correction to be made on their franchise. They looked at this and they thought that in order to be successful, they had to be more like these Marvel movies. When that came to Justice League, that meant they thought that their movies should be more lighthearted and family focused. Obviously, a movie called Suicide Squad about characters like the ones in Suicide Squad wasn't going to be like that though. Instead, they wanted it to be kind of a cross between Guardians of the Galaxy, which they wanted it to be pretty much from the beginning, and Deadpool. And to make it more like Deadpool, they wanted it to be less dark and more of a comedy. Another thing Warner Brothers did to try to remedy the situation was to establish the DC Films division as a way to focus a whole part of the company on the DC movies. Head by Geoff Johns as president and John Berg as vice president, the first movie released under the DC Films label would be Suicide Squad, with DC Films producing its reshoots, which would start in 2016. These reshoots were written by Geoff Johns, similarly to what would later happen with Zack Snyder on the set of Justice League, though that's a different video. Without going too far into what these reshoots changed about the movie, because again, different video, it changed the tone to be more of a comedy action movie and less of a dark, character-centric movie. But that's not where it ended. So early in 2016, before everything with Deadpool and BVS, the first big trailer for Suicide Squad dropped, and it was very well received. The thing is though that this trailer didn't really represent the vision of David Ayer. It was the one with Bohemian Rhapsody over top that made it feel fun and energetic. So this was well received, and since Warner Brothers later decided that that was more the tone they were going for, they actually sent the movie over to Trailer Park, the editors of that trailer, and had them edit the whole movie. The thing is that Trailer Park, as the name sort of implies, doesn't normally edit whole movies. They edit movie trailers, so that added to the weird stylized tone of the movie. So during the editing process, they ended up cutting things that were pretty important to the movie. They famously cut a huge amount of stuff with Harley Quinn and the Joker, both in flashback and in the actual movie. But it doesn't stop there. They cut the backstory for Slipknot, character development on Katana, June Moon, and Rick Flag, and apparently severely cut down the opening of the movie. The characters were supposed to be introduced slowly over the course of the first act, but Warner Brothers wanted the action to start quicker and ended up introducing almost everyone really quickly right at the beginning. According to David Ayer, they practically cut the first 40 minutes of his version. They also changed the soundtrack quite a bit. David Ayer's original soundtrack for Suicide Squad was almost all score, i.e. original music written for the movie as background music, underscore, to convey emotion. But to make it more like Guardians of the Galaxy, which did this way better, might I add, they made almost the entire soundtrack studio, pop, and rock songs. So that's how Suicide Squad was mutilated. If you want me to talk about the Ayer cut more, like whether or not we could get it and what the changes between the original cut and the Ayer cut would be, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for daily videos on the franchises you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.